Tyrone Spong's comments recently. Oh, here's my VADA test. It's negative. He took 3 VADA tests. He failed 2. He passed 1. So it's not a case of, oh, well, 1 out of 3 is good enough. What 1 out of 3 the other way is not good enough. It's just how it is. So, he's saying, I don't understand. It's quite simple. What you had in your system was not there a week later when you had it. So that's for you to deal with. All I know is in that situation, if Illinois would have turned around to me and said, we've looked at this and, we've spoke to Spong and, we've cleared him to fight. He fights. But the next morning they made their decision, we will not license Tyrone Spong. And then the search starts. Luckily, we have so many heavyweights that we're talking to virtually.
Those are the words of Eddie Hearn. And again, guys, I apologize about my video. It's clearly a device that I was using that I am no longer using to record. My quality of sound was off, okay? Now, I wanted to re-edit, like I promised, the Tyrone Spong incident, okay? As you guys heard, Eddie Hearn had really cleared up a lot of things that I actually asked in that particular video about Tyrone Spong's drug test. He took 3 drug tests, okay? And like I told you guys, unless he took those tests all at one time and it was just 3 different samples or whatnot, then he would be cleared to fight. But the problem is on the September 22nd, September 26th, and October 2nd, which is my birthday, right? He failed the 22nd of September and the 26th, and he passed the 2nd. But those were 3 different times. 3 different times he knew that, hey, by the 2nd, whatever he was on was already out of his system. Okay, so those 2, whatever the clomiphene, or clomiphene, I believe that's what it was called, that he was taking, he had already cycled off of it by the time my birthday came around on October 2nd. Okay, so what he's saying, he's trying to make it like, okay, well, hey, 1 out of 3. Well, basically, no, it's 2 out of 3 that you failed, where you had some shit in your system and then you don't have it in there no more. So what possibly happened, like I told you guys, he might have took some niacin or whatever, some kind of blood cleaner or however they took, because I believe VADA takes your blood. So he took that, and urine. Okay, so the combination of blood and urine on those 2 dates, he was dirty still. On the 2nd, he wasn't dirty. He could have, he could have took a supplement like niacin or whatever that flushes you out, that cleans your blood out, or that cleans your system out. So by the time he did take the 3rd test, that was that. My thing is, the only reason now it makes sense on why they take so many, because they want to catch you. Okay, did you pass at this point? Then we're gonna test you 4 days later, because what happens? Let's say you only test 1 time. You get tested 1 time, let's say the September the 22nd time. You test that 1 time, then you get cycled back on something. You say, okay, coast is clear. Let me go ahead and inject or take this particular thing, consume this drug, so I can have an edge on fight night, physically and mentally. Because a lot of people, they think it's physical, but it's actually mental. When people take supplements and things of that nature, they know that it's like, okay, I know that I'm taking something, so therefore I should perform better, if that makes sense. So Eddie cleared it up to me, because I wasn't really familiar with how they did it. Those were 3 different times, but it wasn't with the same blood, or it wasn't with the same sample. Okay, what Tyrone Spong was saying, well, hey, I won't stop until I get justice. See, there you go. My 3rd and final test it comes up clean. But no, it doesn't work that way. You were dirty at the time that you took the test. So he might have not even had a lot of the stuff in it. In a lot of cases, it doesn't. Even Canelo Alvarez, he had the clenbuterol, right? Okay. Well, that was small traces, right? And both times he took, they were still small traces of that clenbuterol in his system. So that's why he pulled the that's the contaminated beef claim, right? He pulled that jacket and start wearing it. But again, what I'm saying, where I'm going with that is, it's a small amount. So obviously those The ones on the 22nd, the ones on the 26th were small amounts because the 22nd was probably a heavier amount or a medium amount, and then the 26th was lighter than that, and by the second it was gone. That's easy to realize. You know, I can counterpunch that with my eyes closed, people. You know? So Tyrone Spong, yeah, he tested positive. He couldn't get licensing, so they had to look for another opponent. They couldn't wait to the third test because by that time it didn't matter. My question would be, why the hell are you taking a third test when he's already tested positive and wasn't going to get licensed anyway? You know what I'm saying? That's my question. I'm like, it's pointless. He failed twice. Let it go. Canelo failed twice, right? It was over. 6-month ban, boom. You know? So I don't know what that was about. But back to Spong, let's say for shits and giggles, it is something that was sabotaged. If it was sabotaged, that is a shitty way to be messed over. It's the only thing I can really think of, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's far-fetched, but, this is boxing. But for him saying, I don't understand, he should have understood that. He had the shit in his system, and then, you know what I mean? Just like, what's the case of, what was the heavyweight boxer's name? Another heavyweight boxer, Povetkin, right? He had something in his system, and then he didn't have it before, but then he had it after. Well, that tells you he took it after. But this is the opposite. He didn't take it, and he was cycling off the stuff. But anyway, as I promised you guys, this is the re-edited video. You guys tell me what you think about the Tyrone Spong incident. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.